All right, so we're going to call this meeting to order. February 3rd, 2023, our board business meeting. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We're going to start off with a call to order and salute the flag. Sorry.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Cuff.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Wright. Here. Mr. Tong.
Present.
Ms. Richardson.
Present.
Ms. Ivory.
Present.
Ms. Hall.
Present.
Ms. Cook Henry.
Present.
Mr. Callahan. Yeah. Ms. Hopkins.
Forgive me, my electricity is out. Transformer caught fire, so I'm in the dark, but I'm here.
Thank you. Ms. Boykins.
Present.
Mr. Vandy is absent. Ms. Askew Green. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go on to comments by the board president. I just have a small quote, just a thought. We must set the standard for our youth, raise the bar high, and allow them to work to reach the bar that we've set. Let them know that they can achieve, also that their circumstances do not determine their results in life. And I think it's really important for us to continue to push that. Just having the opportunity to be more in the district now and being, a coach here, I'm able to see a lot of different things. And I just want to encourage parents and encourage students to continue to raise the bar for themselves and let them know that, you're not mediocre in your ways. We always can do better, and I always believe in about doing 1% better, whatever you do in life. So I just want to encourage our students and encourage our parents to continue to push our students and their kids to be 1% better and raise the bar for them. Thank you. We're going to Dr. B. Coates with his remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I have, excuse me, a few items to share this evening. So you should find on the screen the actual superintendent's report for today's meeting. We do have a few items that I want to celebrate, some special thanks, and then some announcements. Perfect timing. We wanted to congratulate Mr. Paul Bandy on being the Rotary Club of Upper Darby and Lansdowne Student of the Month. So congratulations to our student board member for that recognition. We also want to congratulate two of our tech liaisons. All of our schools have tech liaisons. So we have Tashana Maxwell and Takara Penitz from Penwood Middle and Cowlin, respectively. They will be attending the Pennsylvania Educational Technology Expo and Conference. And they will be representing our district in February. That was a competitive process. So congratulations to those two young ladies. We also want to say congratulations to one of our personalized learning community teachers, Ms. Michelle Beach, who has been selected as one of 4 science teachers to present at the National Science Teacher Association Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. So we want to say congratulations to Ms. Beach for that recognition as well. And you can see what they will be presenting on. It's always good to have our district represented at conferences so people can see what's happening in the Williamson School District. We also want to congratulate several of our not only teachers, but several of our students. So most of you may know that we utilize Dreambox as a way to support students in mathematics. And so we have had a competition, and what you will find are the individual winners. We have Daniel Lynch, who was a 2nd grade student at Ardmore. Michael Colley is a grade 4 student at Cowin, and Ms. Federoff is a grade 2 teacher at Walnut. So these are the prizes that they won. You can see the level of participation that they've had and the number of lessons that students have completed for per week on average. And then we have a in-school or school-wide winner, and that winner is Park Lane Elementary School. You'll see that they finished with 74% of their students qualifying, having completed at least 5 lessons a week. So congratulations to all of those schools as well as the students and those teachers and principals. We want to also recognize the Ninth Grade Academy. We are beginning college and career readiness, not when you get into grade 10, but we are starting it at grade 9. And as we continue to implement our transition plans, you will see it happening in lower grades as well. But these are some college visits that are college tours, if you will, that will be happening this year to better support students as they transition to our high schools so that they know more about college and what are some options available to them. So we do want to thank individuals for leading those efforts. We also want to acknowledge Mr. Aaron Draper, who is a percussionist. He had an opportunity to visit Walnut Street Elementary and spend some time working with our students as a part of his residency. And so that's a great thing to make sure that our students continue to learn things through the arts. And this one I loved at Bell Avenue. Students are participating in yoga. You'd be surprised the benefits that yoga has for students as they transition through the day. So this was just a visual of what the third grade teacher was doing with some of the students at Bell Avenue. So thank you for all of your efforts, teachers, students, as well as our leaders in the building. And we definitely want to give a special thanks to Donors Choose. This is an organization that supports lots of items and functions, if you will, and projects of our teachers. So we've had more than $3,000 funded or provided to our schools, and you'll see the names of the teachers and the schools that they are supporting. So thank you very much for your support of the William Penn School District. And for our announcements, I am sure that most of the board members sitting at this table and those who are on Zoom have already registered for the polar plunge. Right? Okay, I hear silence, so I will take that as yes. So if you have not, please click on the link that is in the presentation. It will be a fun activity. Some of us had the opportunity to do it last year. I see some of you smiling because you're reflecting on that warm experience.
Miss Ivan, you have to go?
But
She's not?
it's a great experience. If you can, please participate on February the 10th, 2023. And if you don't want to participate, you can definitely support our life skills classes at Penwood High School.
I'll be sending you all a solicitation.
And then,
Actually, there's already a town hand doing it, so I don't really.
okay, and then lastly but not least, the Penwood Foundation, we typically have an annual dress down fundraiser. So this will be on Friday, February the 10th. It's $1 per student, $5 per staff member. All of the proceeds will go to support our students and activities within our school district. Here are the flyers. You can participate. Even if you're not in our district, you can still participate. So please, we encourage you to support the Penwood Foundation. I apologize. Thank you very much, Madam President. That concludes all of my announcements for this evening.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Got a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
All those against? Oh, yeah. All those against? All right, hearing none. Can I get a motion to approve the business meeting December 19th, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing or seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Oh, sorry again, I gotta pause, all right. Can I, oh, wait, well, that was, all right. So, yes, can I get a motion to approve the committee meeting of the whole that took place on January 17th, 2023?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, hearing or seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right, hearing or seeing none. Next, we're gonna go to remarks by our student representative. We're gonna start with our senior, Mr. Paul Vandy.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So I got like one quick question for today. So I heard over an announcement today at school that would be, I believe it's just the seniors, correct me if I'm wrong, we're doing a math testing and making testing soon, I believe this week. I want to ask some like clarification on what that's about, because I think the sentiment shared between me and other like students that we didn't really know much about it coming into it. I think even maybe some teachers didn't know, were not fully aware of it. So maybe just clarify what it's for, what the testing is for, just so other students can like know about it. Just so like I don't want them going into it, something they don't know what the test is about, so they don't know how seriously they should be taking it or what kind of like how that'll affect them, I guess.
I will make sure we follow up with you, Paul,
Okay.
as well as the seniors. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
That'll be all.
All right, that's it for today, for right now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We will follow up with you on that. Next, we'll go to, so right now, Mr. Bangora, he is not here right now. And Ms. Wise is not here right now. I didn't see her. I've received a message. I think she's not here. So we're gonna move on to our ninth grade representative, Ms. Morgan Askew Green. That mic, pass the mic in. Ms. Morgan, you have the floor.
Thank you. Alright, yeah, the only major concern we had right now was like with IDs and all that stuff, because we have just received our new IDs. And so we assumed that was gonna like fix the problem with buses, because students have still been getting on like buses, even if they don't get on the bus. So now buses are overcrowded, and when you're at your bus stop, whether you're waiting to get to school or leave school, it's overcrowded with students that don't get on the bus. And so we were kind of hoping, I guess, could we like really try to like enforce like the inspection of IDs when we get on the bus?
Okay, so you're saying the students with no ID.
No, not that they don't have an ID. They have an ID, but the students aren't getting their ID checked, so it doesn't matter if they have a bus or not. They're still getting on other
Oh, okay, because
buses.
they may not be a bus rider. They're
Yeah.
getting on there even though they have their IDs. Okay.
I
Dr.
made
B,
note.
okay.
We need to follow up.
we'll follow up with that. Thank you so much. Anything else?
No, that was it.
All right, thank you very much. All right, next, we're gonna go to our special awards. It just happens to be school director recognition month. And, is that me?
No, it's me,
I was
actually.
about to say-
So good evening again. This evening, we do want to recognize our school directors. As you will see on the screen, those lovely pictures of these individuals. These are special awards are presented to the William Penn School District Board of Directors in observance of School Director Recognition Month. School board members encounter many complex and difficult challenges as they strive to ensure continuous improvement in student learning and fiscal responsibility. School Director Recognition Month was instituted by the Pennsylvania School Boards Association to designate a time to show appreciation to local school board members who volunteer hundreds of hours each year and collaborate in order to provide a better future for our children. In recognition of dedicated service to the William Penn School District, we pay tribute to the William Penn School District Board of School Directors, Ms. Monique Boykins, President, Ms. Wadia Ivory, Vice President, board members, Mr. William Callahan, Ms. Valerie Cook Henry, Ms. Jennifer Hoff, Ms. Joanna Hopkins, Ms. Luella Richardson, Mr. Jan Tong, and Mr. Robert E. Wright Sr., and school board student representatives, Mr. Paul Bandy, Mr. Mohammed Bangora, Ms. Jayla Wise, and Ms. Morgan Askew Green. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much. There is a certificate that should be at each of your place settings that looks similar to this. And there's also, or there was also a bag at your place settings as well. So thank you again for your service. And I do want to highlight for our community, keep in mind that this is, I did say volunteer. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. Well,
Thank you.
school board directors, you should pat yourselves on the back, definitely for sure. We do fill some big shoes here. Next, we'll be going to any public comments on the agenda items only. Are there any comments or questions from the public that's here or even online with agenda items? Hello, how are you? Good seeing you. You just want to go ahead and step to the podium and state your name and where you're from. And then we will, we'll enter or talk to the people that's here first. Then we'll go to the people that's online. All right.
Hi, Councilwoman Lorraine Johnson from Navy Borough. First, I would like to commend you on new people to the city. And also, I would like to commend you on the new programs that you have. I think the totally think it's just very courageous. But I think it's great. I was speaking with Ms. Oaks at Bell Elementary
Okay,
and Roy Hunter, our recreation director.
hold on 1 second. She just gonna turn your mic on. There you go. Go ahead.
I was speaking with Ms. Oaks at Bell Elementary and also our recreation director, Mr. Hunter. And we would like to assist the school district in starting a horticultural program to help beautify with perennials. And we want to start there, but hopefully we can venture out to Bell and all the other schools to help to beautify them through our beautification project.
Okay,
And she and I would like to sit and speak with you at some point
okay,
to get a donation for each school. And I will be going to Home Depot and the other perennial plant area
okay.
and just try to start beautifying the community. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
No problem,
Thank
no
you so
problem. You
much.
have my information, right?
I'll get it before I leave.
Okay, all right. no
Thank
prob-
you.
And thank you very much for thinking about starting a horticultural program at Bell.
You know, we need to kind of go back to basics, like you're saying, take them to a higher level. And with food being so expensive now, after the perennials, I really want to try to get them into, or we want to try to get them into learning how to plant vegetables,
Yeah,
you know,
yes,
things like that.
yes. And that's something that's needed because I believe in Lansdowne, they're doing something like that in the Lansdowne area. But we need it in our, in Yaden, Bell, Art Elementary. You're right. I
Absolutely.
know. Yeah, I'm just saying as a group effort, in each area, it needs to be represented. Yes, for
Okay,
sure.
thank you so
for that.
much.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Hello.
Good evening.
And how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Mhm.
My name is Isaac Dotson. I'm the borough manager here in Yaden.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm at the right meeting. I'm glad I'm at this meeting. But I came primarily with interest in the athletic field.
Yes.
And I came with interest in terms of contracts being allocated to vendors and
Yeah.
contractors as relates to the amount of money that's being spent. So I don't know if I'm at the right meeting. I don't know if it's a public, if it's a property committee meeting I should be at, or this
Yeah.
meeting I should be at. But I don't see it on the agenda, so I don't want to take up your time if I'm at the wrong meeting.
Yes, you are at the wrong meeting. So so what I would like you to do is Mr. Tong is the chair of our property.
Okay,
I would like you to get his information. So to have further conversation with him about this. Last Thursday, we had a property committee meeting. And we discussed, you could have brought that type of information up to ask,
Yeah.
but it's not too late.
okay,
So it is good that you can still, Mr. Tong, if that's okay with you, if you can exchange information with him, so you can
Sure.
he can answer any questions that you may have of where we are at right now with
Mhm.
regard to the contracts,
okay,
and he can answer that for you.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dodson. Okay, seeing no more public comments here, we're gonna go now online to Zoom. If there's a, Ms. Fink, you have the floor, Ms. Fink.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Andrea Fink. I am the academic interventionist at East Lansdowne Elementary. I am also the vice president of the William Penn Education Association. And I have a prepared statement on behalf of the teachers at East Lansdowne Elementary regarding item D5. Okay. The teachers at East Lansdowne support an addition to the building, as well as the much needed ADA accommodations and HVAC system upgrade and other repairs being done throughout our building in the next 2 years. Some of our teachers in the building have been teaching at East Lansdowne for over 25 years. The building has not seen major renovation in that time, and compared to other school buildings in the district is in very poor condition. We currently have 3 classrooms in a basement that are not conducive to learning or teaching. As teachers, we make do with what we are given and do our best to make the learning environment suitable for our students. However, there are some things that are out of our control. The basement classroom currently housing one of our 6th grade classes has windows that do not open, a large sewer pipe running through it, and a sectioned off area for a sub pump. The classroom used for music often floods and puddles of water accumulate in that room in the back, especially after several days of rain, like the days we've been having. The other classroom in the basement used for art is very cumbersome and sometimes unsafe to get to. It does not have windows, but does have a door to the outside. We believe that these 3 basement classrooms should not be utilized for learning. Our other 6th grade class is housed in a portable, not meant to be sustainable long-term. It often floods when we have heavy rains in the hallways to get to this classroom, and several maintenance requests have been put in, and that has been repaired several times over the years. On our first floor, the 1 kindergarten classroom is much smaller than the other classrooms because it was a teacher's lounge / work area until the district went from half-day kindergarten to full-day kindergarten many, many years ago. In the library, we have 3 office spaces. 1 I utilize for my academic intervention groups. 1 is for the guidance counselor and her groups and meetings. And the other office is utilized by 8 different services throughout the week, including occupational therapy, physical therapy, itinerant emotional support, itinerant gifted support, itinerant autistic support, our SAP coordinator, our school psychologist, and our school social worker all share that 1 office. On our second floor, there are 2 classrooms that walls were put in to make an office space for our instructional facilitator many years ago. This affects our 3rd grade class. Their classroom is much smaller than all the other classrooms on that floor. The other classroom affected by this office insert is our special education learning support classroom, which 2 teachers have to share. In addition to all that, we are so strained for space for our kids that our tutors, we have 2 of them, utilize the 2nd floor hallway to work with their students during the week. Throughout the building, we have extremely limited storage space. Teachers in a typical classroom have 1 storage closet and an alcove with small shelves on the sides. Classroom teachers have bought their own shelving units to make classroom libraries and math manipulatives more accessible to students. Teacher purchased furniture is made for residential use, and most are in poor condition, not made to handle the wear and tear elementary students have on furniture. We have found that the garage shelving works best as it is most durable, and that's what you'll see in our classrooms. The closets in our classrooms for students are small and are in need of repair. In some rooms, the wood splinters and teachers have covered it with contact paper or posters. Teachers do utilize the wall space that should have windows, but only really to brighten the room. We collectively would love all 4 windows back in our classrooms and would like storage or casing under them for classroom libraries and math manipulatives. Currently, we have 3 storage closets in the building, 1 on the 1st floor and 2 on the 2nd. Once the elevator is put in, the largest storage closet will be gone, and we are very concerned about this as it houses our copier, laminator, and other teacher resources. This storage closet has really become a teacher workroom as our current teacher lounge / workroom is very small and cannot fit those resources. I would be happy to give a tour of our building to any board member that would like to see all the things I mentioned. The teachers at East Lansdowne would appreciate the board's support and would like you to approve a much needed addition to our bursting school and give our students the school building they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fink. Thank you very much for that. Ms. Tay.
Tay, T-A-Y-E. I think that's the right pronunciation.
And also, Ms. Fink, I just want you to know that your comments and concerns were definitely heard. We are going to move to Mrs. Tay.
Good evening.
Properly, excuse me, I'm saying it properly.
It's Ty. I know it looks interesting, but it's Ty. Good evening,
Okay.
board. My name is Ty Oladipo, and I am the art teacher at East Lansdowne Elementary, and I was encouraged to come out tonight. So I just wanted to say I stand in support of Ms. Fink's statement. I am one of the teachers that is in the basement where it's not properly outfitted for a 20th century art and creativity that we see in our students. I really would ask for you guys to really consider adding that addition because I am directly and our students are directly impacted. So I thank you. And that's the end of my statement.
Thank you, Ms. Ty. Ms. Wright, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just would like to re-emphasize the special thanks that has been given tonight to our school board directors and our student representatives. The work that you do is so very much appreciated, and we thank you again for your volunteer service to our communities as we focus forward 2025. And I also would like to give a special thanks, of course, to Mr. Wright. I just wanted to publicly say thank you so much also for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wright.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. So I can't put it any better than Ms. Fink has read, but I do want to make sure that I come as the leader of East Lansdowne and advocate for our students, our teachers in our school as it is being remodeled on, this summer. And I'm really asking board members, I really want to invite you out to East Lansdowne to see the conditions that our children are educated under each day. And so without saying a ton more, because I think that Ms. Fink's statement hits the nail on the head, it impacts our babies. And so my why is kids, and I know the board's why is our students and making sure our teachers are educated or our teachers are educating our students in an environment that is conducive to learning. And I really implore you all to really think through the additions for East Lansdowne, because our babies deserve to be educated in classrooms that are conducive for teaching and learning. And some of our kids are not getting that. All of them go to art and music in the basement, and our 6th grade students just do not deserve those conditions. So I wanted to make sure that I came on tonight to advocate for our teachers and our students at East Lansdowne, and really want to invite every single board member out to East Lansdowne. We are happy to host you there to see our classrooms. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Ms. Stringfield, you have the floor.
That's you. Hi, good night. Hello?
Hello. Hello, we
Yes,
can
good
hear
night.
you.
I'm a parent of the East Lansdowne Elementary School, and we're actually here, wrapping up our meeting, but we have a room full of parents who are very concerned about the conditions in which our children are learning. I have children who get sick all the time and are out all the time. And it's because of these conditions of the school. I mean, a few of us, we have multiple homes in the community, and we just feel like our tax dollars aren't working for our children. And it is a problem. It is not just something to be brushed over and, with all the thanks and all that stuff. Our children are like our priority. The sewer problem and kids learning within the sewer, with sewer lines running in the basement, kids in trailers, that's not right. Mildews and all this stuff. I know I was at the last meeting here in the building, and they said that there weren't any asbestos and all that stuff, but I mean, we need the addition. We need every bit of it and more. And I just need to I thank Ms. Fink for just going through all of that, and Dr. Williams, just to, reiterate that we shouldn't even have to be voting on this. This should just be something that says automatic. This shouldn't have to go to a vote. And I do think you should take Dr. Williams on her offer and come and view the building for yourself, because sitting in an office and at the board meetings and not walking through and seeing what we are seeing our children going through, it's not the same. Tomato, but seeing it in person really let you know that, this is something that has to be done immediately, priority. God forbid if my kids get sick, what am I going to do? I can't sue the school district, So I just really think that you guys should just do all you can and let this happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Stringfield. Your comments and concerns have been heard. Mrs. Mellison, you have the floor. Okay. I do want to say to Ms. Stringfield as well, with regard to one comment, I just want to say, we have voted as a board with regard to the HVAC and ADA compliance. With regard to East Lansdowne, we have voted for that to move forward. When we talk about poor air quality, you talk about a child getting sick. Those are the things that we have voted on with regard to the board to help with that. When we talk about poor air quality and making sure that our students are breathing proper air and we have proper ventilation. Tonight, what we will be voting on is additions, just classroom additions. So I do want to just say that we have voted on with regard to the air quality and things of that nature and ADA compliance. We have voted to move forward on that to ensure that kids are breathing safe and healthy air.
Them kids should be sitting in classrooms.
Ms. Stringfield, I just wanted to comment just to explain that part. I also want to say plenty of board of directors and myself, I have been at East Lansdowne as well when we first took the first tour with our state reps. I was there as well when we were talking about with regard to putting in the elevator that was needed as well. So I just wanted to let you know that there are several board of directors that have been to East Lansdowne, and I don't want that to be taken as if no one sitting up here has not visited. But I just wanted to stress that. That's all. Thank you very much. Is she back? Okay. All right. At this time, we have no more comments or questions with regard to agenda items. So we are going to go to our committee reports. Our first, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Mr. Cuff, do we have any communications? Thank you.
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Next, we'll be going to our committee reports. Our first committee report is the community relations read by our chair, Ms. Luella Richardson.
Good evening, everyone. Community Relations Committee agenda. A1 is the Black History Month proclamation, and it's recommended action that to adopt the William Penn School District Black History Month proclamation. So be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of the William Penn School District hereby proclaim the month of February as Black History Month for the year 2023. Resolved this 23rd day of January 23. Subject A2, Penwood FBLA competes at regional conference. The Future Business Leaders of America conference was held December the 15th, 2022 at Widener University. Penwood High School chapter of the FBLA competed at the FBLA conference, and there were about 60 students participated. So congratulations to those students. A3 is the kindergarten pre-registration for the 2023-2024 school year. The pre-registration for the 23-24 school year starts from Wednesday, March the 1st through Friday, March the 31st, 2023. So if you have any questions about the registration process, please call the registration office at 610-284-8005, extension 1234. And the list of requirements and required student documents are there. A4, Harcum College Dental Center offering free sealant day for children. The Harcum College Cohen Dental Center is hosting its annual free sealant day on February 20th, 2023, with appointments at 9 a.m., 10:30 a.m., and 1 o'clock p.m. until appointments are full. If you need any information, please call to make the appointment at 610-526-6113. That completes communication. Next page. Oh, another page. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A5.
I'm sorry. Additions to the agenda would be Lansdowne Darby Rotary Club, December Student of the Month, and our own Paul Bandy was a member of the National Honor Society and earned a place on the Distinguished Honors Roll and Honor Roll through others high school. So he was selected as the Rotary Student of the Month. Congratulations to Mr. Bandy.
Congratulations, Mr. Bandy.
One more.
B is Penwood Art Students' work displayed in Delaware County Community College. So the art exhibit will be on view from February 17, 2023 at the Art Gallery at DCC's Marble Campus. And a reception will be held on Wednesday, January 25th, 2023 from 4 to 7 p.m. The art gallery is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday. That completes communications.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, I'm going back to. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right.
Second.
Second, yes. Hearing any comments, questions, or concerns?
No, I just did want to highlight the opening to the DCCC art exhibition this Wednesday from 4 to 7. It really is an outstanding gallery, an outstanding place for our young students to have their work up. And like Ms. Llewellyn said, only 15 schools in Delaware County made the cut. If you look at the list, and I was trying to find the list, we are in very good company. So we should take time to thank Ms. Brunt and the students for their artistic endeavors.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you. This motion, what we're going to be voting on is to adopt the William Penn School District Black History Month, okay, proclamation. So I just want to say, all those in favor.
Aye. That was it.
All those, was that an aye, Wadia?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was making sure, because you see Mr. Khan's on me, right? And all those against? You're against it?
No.
We're marking you down. All right. All those are in favor. We're good. Moving forward. All right. And definitely what Jim was saying, I just want to make sure that we reiterate that, because it's very important that we, support our students and what they're doing as well. And we highlight it. Moving forward to our education committee agenda, I'll be reading that for Ms. Valerie Cook Henry. She is our chair. So B1, release and settlement agreements. Release settlement agreement has been negotiated between William Penn School District and the parent of the student. As you see the number listed, involving a dispute which arose regarding the school district's provision of a free and appropriate public education. B2 is expulsion waiver agreements. This motion is to approve the terms of the expulsion waiver agreements negotiated between the William Penn School District and the parents/guardians of the students listed below. As indicated, the following reference students are recommended for expulsion and subsequent placement in the personalized learning community. The expulsion time frame is for the 2022-2023 school term is detailed below if the student has not already successfully graduated from the school district. Information detailing the student's reasons is on file in the Student Services Office. B3, equity resolution between the William Penn School District and the William Penn Education Association. This motion is to adopt the resolution stating the William Penn School District stands steadfast in its commitment to foster an inclusive, culturally responsive educational environment where every student, educator, and community member is treated with dignity and respect, and condemns racism, sexism, and all forms of bigotry in our schools and communities. Further, the school district stands behind its curricular materials, which meet Pennsylvania academic standards. It stands behind educators who teach school district curricula and Pennsylvania academic standards in a truthful way that represents the full scope of this country's history and present reality, and commits to educational equity. B4, data science course at Penwood High School. This motion is to approve the data science course as described to be offered to all students at the Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that the data science course be offered at Penwood High School. In today's society, data is all around you. Whether you go online or to the supermarket, data about you is continuously being collected and used to make decisions. Data science will teach students how to collect, analyze, and make decisions using data. Students will build graphical and statistical models to describe and communicate data using their newly acquired computer programming skills. This course is perfect for beginners. Note the big difference between data science and statistics is that statistics focuses on explaining the data, while data science focuses on uncovering insights that help make predictions and decisions. This curriculum will introduce students to the main ideas in data science through free tools such as Google Sheets, Python, Data Commons, and Tableau. Students will learn to be data explorers and project-based units through which they will develop their understanding of data analysis, sampling, correlation, causation, bias and uncertainty, probability, modeling with data, making and evaluating data-based arguments, the power of data in society, and more. At the end of the course, students will have a portfolio of their data science work to showcase their newly developed abilities. The course can be taken as an alternative to Algebra 2 or in addition to Algebra 2. It can lead to a pathway into calculus, statistics, data science, other STEM or humanities subjects. This will be a full year course for 1 credit. This class will be open to all students with prerequisites of a teacher recommendation in either geometry or integrated math 2. Sounds like a good course, right? B5, AP Pre-Calculus course at Penwood High School. This motion is to approve the AP Calculus course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that the AP Calculus course be offered at Penwood High School. In AP Pre-Calculus, students explore everyday situation using mathematical tools and lenses. Through regular practice, students build deep mastery of modeling and functions, and they examine scenarios through multiple representations. They will learn how to observe, explore, and build mathematical meaning from dynamic systems as an important practice for thriving in an ever-changing world. AP Pre-Calculus prepares students for other higher level mathematics and science courses. The framework delineates content and skills common to college pre-calculus courses that are foundational for careers in mathematics, physics, biology, health science, social science, and data science. Students study each function type through their graphical, numerical, verbal, and analytical representation and their applications in a variety of contexts. Additionally, students apply their understanding of functions by constructing and validating appropriate function models for scenarios, sets of conditions, and data sheets, thereby gaining a deeper understanding of the nature and behavior of each function type. Modeling is also a key feature of the course. Students select, construct, and validate function models using transformations of functions and regressions. Students learn to select mathematical models based characteristics off of a bivariate data set. Wow. Characteristics of convarying quantities and their relative rates of change, or a set of characteristics such as zeros, asymptotes, and extrema. Students also identify, interpret, and apply information from a function model for a given context or data set, subject to assumptions and limitations related to the context. Through the course, the students strengthen their procedural and symbolic fluency skills needed for higher level mathematics. While studying each function type, students solve equations and construct equivalent and analytic representations in both contextual and purely mathematical settings. This will be a full year course for 1 credit. This class will be open to all students with prerequisites of Algebra 2, Algebra 2H, with a minimum grade of a B and recommendation of the teacher. I know. The reason why I'm reading these out, because I think it's very important. You know, every year we have people come and say Penwood High School is not offering enough. So I'm going to read each one because it's important for people to know the works that we're doing and the rigor that we're adding to our school. AP B6 AP Statistics course at Penwood High School. The motion is to approve the AP Statistics course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that an AP Statistics course be offered at the Penwood High School. Students will learn about the major concepts and tools used for collecting, analyzing, and drawing conclusions from data. They will explore statistics through discussion and activities and will design surveys, experiments. In this course, students will learn selecting methods for collecting or analyzing data, describing patterns, trends, associations, and relationships in data. B7, Integrated Mathematics 1 course at Penwood Middle School, Penwood 9th Grade Academy, and Penwood High School. The motion is to approve the Integrated Mathematics 1 course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood Middle School, Penwood 9th Grade Academy, and Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that an Integrated Math 1 course be offered at Penwood Middle School, Penwood 9th Grade Academy, and Penwood High School. This course introduces linear relationships through applications in geometry and real world problems. Students build their understanding of proportionality by connecting proportional relationships, lines, and linear equations. Students begin to formalize the concept of function. They explore functions in terms of sequences, mappings, sets of ordered pairs, graphs, tables, verbal descriptions, and equations. Students use prior knowledge of plotting points and linear relationships to construct scatter plot and determine whether scatter plots exhibit linear relationships. Then students characterize scatter plots in terms of clustering, outliers, and association. This will be a full year course, 1 credit as well. This class will be open to all students with prerequisites of Penwood Middle School Math 8 or Essential for Algebra. B8 is Integrated Math 2 course at Penwood High School. And the motion is to approve the integrated mathematics 2 as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. Once again, the superintendent recommends that an integrated math 2 course be offered at Penwood High School. This course builds on student understanding of functions, equations, mathematical thinking, and problem solving, including an integrated 1 and 2. Students begin by exploring and developing rules for exponent operations. They use these rules to solve real world and mathematical problems involving volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. Students then correct arithmetic sequences to linear functions, recognizing that constant difference is related to the slope of the corresponding linear function. Students use the properties of equality to justify the steps to solve equations. Then students solve compound inequalities and represent their solutions on number lines. This will be a full year course and it's also 1 credit. This will be open to all students. We have B9 Essentials for Algebra course at Penwood 9th Grade Academy. This motion is to approve the Essential for Algebra course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood 9th Grade Academy as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that Essentials for Algebra course be offered at Penwood 9th Grade Academy. This course concentrates on core concepts and procedures needed for algebra. Practice time is provided for students on each problem type. This also is a 1-year course and it will be 1 credit. This is open to all students with prerequisites of Penwood Middle School Math 8, teacher recommendation, and individualized education plan. B10 is the Introduction to Engineering Design course at Penwood High School. This motion is to approve the Introduction to Engineering Design course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that an Introduction to Engineering Design course be offered at Penwood High School. It is a high school level course that is designed for students who are interested in math and science, particularly in design engineering. This course introduces students to design process, research and analysis, collaboration, communication methods, and problem-solving techniques. This will be a semester course for 0.5 credits. This class will be open to all students with prerequisites of a concurrent enrollment in math and physics course. B11 is AP African American course at Penwood High School. This motion is to approve the AP African American History course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that the AP African American History course be offered at Penwood High School. AP African American Studies, an interdisciplinary course that examines the diversity of African American experiences through direct encounters with authentic and varied sources. Students explore key topics that extend from early African kingdoms to the ongoing challenges and achievements of the contemporary moment. This will be a 1-year full credit course. This course will be open to all students with prerequisites of statistics with a minimum grade of B, recommendation of the teachers. B12, Engaged Citizenship course at Penwood High School. This is a motion to approve the Engaged Citizenship course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that an Engaged Citizenship course be offered at Penwood High School. This semester course will be designated to help students prepare to fully participate in American democracy. We will use this case method, which is a program modeled on the history courses taught at the Harvard Business School, to dig deeply into the development of democracy in America. We will work to put ourselves in the shoes of historical figures who navigated issues from the development of the U.S. Constitution, the struggles of the struggle to expand civil rights, all the way through modern concerns like redistricting and political speech. This will be a semester course for 0.5 credits. This class will be open to all students with prerequisites that students must be in their senior year or turning 18 during the current school year. B13 is Criminal Justice course at Penwood High School. Motion to approve the criminal justice course as described to be offered to all students at Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that a criminal justice course be offered at Penwood High School. Introduction to criminal justice is designed to expose students to the occupations within the criminal justice system. Also, this course will be a semester course for 0.5 credits. This course is also open to all students. B14, social justice course at Penwood High School. The action is to approve the social justice course as described to be offered to all students at the Penwood High School as recommended by the superintendent. The superintendent recommends that a social justice course be offered at Penwood High School. The course will introduce students to social justice issues and assist them in discovering their ability to create positive change in the world. This will be a semester course for 0.5 credits, and this will be open to all students. That concludes my education agenda, and thank you very much for bearing with me and the length of that. But I think what we're stating here is very, very important. There are a lot of classes and things that you see that are being offered, moving forward with our strategic plan. So I just wanted to state that. Can I get a second?
So moved.
Okay, are there any, I'm sorry, can I?
Second.
Yeah.
No, second for you. Because you're the chair, but it's all.
Okay, so any comments, questions, or concerns? So we had Mr. Wright and Jen, so. I thought your hand was up. Okay, Jen, you got the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Boykins, and they are very, very exciting. I just want to make clear that B7 and B8 will not be offered until it passes the NCAA clearinghouse test to make sure it includes enough rigor for all of our students to take successfully.
Yes, we did discuss that at our meeting of the wholes, and you're absolutely right. We're gonna make sure that those classes fit with the eligibility center to make sure student athletes, if they are taking these courses, that they meet the standards to be able to be accepted or accepted so they can be able to move on to college.
And also, so they satisfy the college.
Yes, college requirements for student
For all
athletes.
students, no, for all students.
Okay, yes. Also, one question I had for which one was the African American studies? For B11, I just had one question. I didn't see this and I'm asking it now because why is statistics a prerequisite for a African American history course?
I don't have the answer to that question. Maybe I would have to find out, but maybe.
Okay.
I have a question. It's on
Huh?
B11.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, when did the course start?
I'm sorry,
Monday
can,
was off.
before you move on, can you repeat what you said, Dr. Because couldn't hear you?
I said that may be a mistake. I don't believe that you have to have a correct statistics for AP African American history, but we will confirm that. Did you hear me, Ms. Hopkins?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I believe the next question.
When will they start?
When will they start? Some of these will start this coming school year and some will be later. It's going to depend upon what we hear back from NCAA, that's one. And then the second one will be, some of these are longer term based upon the implementation of the new plan.
When will B11 start?
Excuse me, B11? My expectation is that will be something that will start this coming school year because this is done in conjunction with the college board.
Okay. First of all, I really commend you for putting all these courses together, especially the one African American history course. That's been something that we've been fighting for years that never really took place. And I would, when you set this program up, are you going to have individuals that are going to come in that have a wealth of information on African American studies as speakers and come into our class? And we have that.
Can I jump in just with one quick observation? So the AP College Board, this just got approved. This is the first year this particular class is
Oh, yeah, I know
available
that.
for any districts. Yeah.
All right, but what I'm saying is, are you going to bring in speakers? If so, if you bring in speakers, I probably can assist you and help you with that. There are a lot of individuals who are outstanding, would be really excited to come here as speakers and doing African American studies.
Right, so the first thing we're gonna do is make sure we follow the curriculum.
Yeah.
And then there will be experiences that we will make sure that our students have, which would involve outside sources or resources as well.
So you will have speakers?
we will take that into consideration most definitely, as long as what they're saying is aligned to the curriculum and it's going to benefit our students.
That would not be a problem, because some of these individuals are experts, so that's not a problem.
I would love to review their information.
Okay,
Thank you. I just wanted, before we go to comments, just also want to say, these classes that are offered, like, for instance, AP African American History, it's not offered everywhere. You know, for instance, and even our solicitor can comment to this as well. In Florida, you cannot take this course at all. You know, and I just say this because it's important to know what we're trying to push for our students and what we're trying to push for our community, and to know that we have something that everybody else doesn't have. You know, I think it's just a plus, and we're definitely trying to take advantage of that. So I just wanted to add that. Yes, I think it is a great thing.
We're not in Florida.
I know, I'm glad we're not in Florida. Also, we have comments. I believe Libby had her hand up. We want to give, I got you right next. I'm sorry to see your hand. I'll go to Libby. If you can.
You generally don't do public comment.
Oh, I
Now,
thought
Libby,
she had-
if
Didn't you
Libby's
say she
doing
had-
that.
I just
yes,
wanted to make
absolutely.
you
I
aware.
thought she was.
Well, I
saying
just
she
wanted
had
to give a
something.
little bit of information, that's all. Just, I didn't want to, I did want to comment on the African American history, because the AP African American history, because I think, just like Mr. Wright was saying, like, this is something we've been talking about for a long time, but as far as with College Board, the first time that they did it last year, they only had 60 schools. Then this year, it's hundreds of schools, and we're involved in that. And then the following year after that, they begin offering it all across the country, except for Florida, but we'll get to that later. And then in the spring of 2025, that's when they start doing the exam. So this course and all these other courses, I'm excited about, but especially this African American history, because I feel like we have, a strong teacher who wants to teach it. I feel like it's our time. And so we're ahead of the curve, where sometimes we're a little behind. So I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone. I'll give a shout out to Ed Dunn, because I know you were leading this, and there were a lot of people involved in the project, but I do want to just, say, and thank you, Dr. Bicos, for, having that strategic plan and giving us a map and a blueprint. So I know I spoke over my time, but I just wanted to give you that information. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Ms. Brown, for stating that. I know that usually we don't ask for comments or questions from the public with that, so my apologies, but I appreciate you saying that. I really do. So, Mr. Dotson, I'll circle back to you, okay? All right. So we're gonna move along to our personnel committee. I'm sorry, okay. I thought we voted. My apologies. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right, hearing or seeing none. Now we're gonna go to our C, Personnel Committee Agenda, read by our chair.
Ms. Boykins,
Yes.
can we have Mr. Bangor and Ms. Wise speak? They both had trouble logging in. And if they have something to say, I would like to go out of order of the agenda and allow them to approach the podium.
I will circle back to them, since they weren't here in the beginning. I will get back to them at the end. I will come back, circle back to them at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for letting me know that they're online now. I didn't see you. All right, so we're going to go to our Personnel Committee agenda read by Ms. Wadia Ivory.
Good evening, everyone. The Personnel Committee agenda for this evening, the superintendent recommends the following. C1, retirements. And this is with excitement for the individuals, but with sadness for the district. For administrative staff, Alvin Cuff, business administrator, and Janet Shako, confidential administrative assistants, will be retiring, and you two will be sorely missed. We appreciate your so many years with being with the district since 1995 and 1999. We appreciate everything you both have done within the district for your job and outside of your job. And we wish you both well, and please don't go too far away. B, professional staff, Ms. Rebecca Vandenberg, who has also been with the district since 1989, the learning support teacher at the 9th grade academy. We wish you many more years of enjoyment during your retirement. C2, resignations. C3, appointments, and I'll just read those. Tamara Graham, operations manager at Green Avenue. Professional staff, Jessica Geffen, I apologize if I mispronounced your last name, emotional support teacher at the 9th grade academy. Patricia Lynn, grade 1 teacher at Ardmore Avenue. Stephanie Matzinger, grade 1 teacher at Walnut Street. Ellen O'Brien, English teacher at Penwood High School. David Rad, mathematics teacher at Penwood Middle School. For support staff, S.C. Barrett, in-district special education secretary. C4, changes in assignment. C6, mentors. C7, miscellaneous appointments, you'll see for for F. G, H, I. C8, tenure awards. C9, salary track changes. Not applicable. Modifications to previously approved items. C12, additions to the agenda. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Ivory. Can I get a second?
So move.
Are there any comments, questions, or concerns at this time with the Personnel Committee agenda? All right, hearing or seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right, moving forward. Next, we have our property agenda report read by our chair, Mr. Jan Tom.
Thank you, Madam President. Property Committee agenda for this evening. We have D1, general construction renovations, East Lansdowne Elementary and Evans Elementary School. Bids were open on January 17th, 2023 for general construction prime contract for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary. A total of 3 bids were received. Motion is to award the general construction prime contract to S.B. Conrad for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary at a cost of $5,226,000. D2, HVAC mechanical construction renovation at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary. Bids were opened on January 17th, 2023 for HVAC mechanical construction prime contract for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary. A total of 5 bids were received. Motion is to award the HVAC mechanical construction prime contract to Michael Mechanical for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary at a cost of $4,617,000. D3, plumbing construction renovations, East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary. Bids were opened January 17th, 2023 for plumbing construction prime contract for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary School. A total of 7 bids were received. Motion is to award plumbing construction prime contract to Michael Mechanical for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary School for a cost of $552,000. D4, electrical construction renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary School. Bids were opened on January 17th, 2023 for electrical construction prime contract for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary. A total of 2 bids were received. Motion is to award electrical construction prime contract to Phillips Brothers for renovations at East Lansdowne and Evans Elementary schools at a cost of $3,030,000. D5, additions to agenda. Based on recent demographic study and live reports, the administration recommends constructing 4 additional classrooms at East Lansdowne Elementary School. Motion is to approve the addition to the agenda as, as indicated, additional classrooms at East Lansdowne Elementary. Those are the items that are this evening's agenda. Madam President, I also recommend that D5 be separate. from
Yes.
The rest of the.
Yep, we'll split out, so, yep. So D1 through 4 we'll vote on, and then we'll separate D5, separate D5.
Second to the agenda, second to Jan's motion.
Okay, so Mr. Cuff, you heard that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're ready to go. Oh, wait, no, we're not ready to go. I'm sorry about that. Can I get a second?
She seconded.
You second?
Yeah.
All, any comments, questions, or concerns?
Concerning 1 through 4.
The whole report, if you want to
We'll
comment.
vote separately, but
We'll
comment
vote,
now.
yes.
So my comment would be that you've had the live birth study, you have the recommendation of the administration, you have the request from the staff and the teachers, and I urge the board to vote in favor of the addition to the building.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. Mr. Callahan and I had a chance to tour, in particular, the basement classrooms this morning. D5 is actually, this board signed on ADA and air quality as their first priority in projects. Those basement classrooms speak to ADA. We're using 3 classrooms. We should only be using 2 of them. One of them has no egress. When the elevator opens, a child in a wheelchair will not be able to make the tight turn down the hallway to the art classroom. The art classroom has no windows. Their only form of air is their door, which should never be open due to security issues. So if we're talking truly about ADA and air quality, it speaks to East Lansdowne getting those 4 additional classrooms, because the 3 classrooms down in the basement will not be ADA accessible for a student coming down that elevator. They just won't. If that young person permanently or temporarily is in a wheelchair or using a walker, they will not be able to manage those classrooms just with the addition of an elevator. Thank you.
Anybody else have, yes, Mr. Wright?
My question is that, once again, I've been fighting for years. How many of these contractors that we're going to vote on today going to have Black contractors or women on the contract, working in this contract? How many? I'm looking at the money that we're going to pay out, but this is money coming from all 6 boroughs, not 1 borough, all 6 boroughs. And are we going to have representation of people who look and reflect this board and our community?
I'm
So
not,
where are we
Mr.
with that?
Tong or Dr. B. Coates, Mr. Tong or Dr. B. Coates will be able to answer that. this time.
Okay.
At the property meeting, there was information presented to the board last week that spoke to each contractor's commitment to diversity, and that information was included in the presentation. I don't have that presentation in front of me tonight, but it was provided to the full board.
I read that report, but do we actually have individuals who've been successful in this process that we can identify?
What do you mean when you say?
So what I'm saying is, are they going to be either prime contractor or subcontractor? Do we have names?
Yeah, it's worth a report on what it looks like as the project goes on. Is something that we can and will provide to you. I mean, I think you and I have talked about this. We can't require it legally. We can't, mandate it, but we can require them to let us know what it all looks like so that we can report back to the board.
Exactly. So when are we going to do that? That we can identify. the
Well,
individual.
one of the things that we did before the board even took action, we made sure that last week the board had some information about what the companies had done. And so that was at my request of those companies to make sure that they provided the information. So that's why the board received it. So that is a start. And as our solicitor said, as we do the work, the expectation is that they will fulfill what's in the commitment communication or document that they provided to the board.
I completely understand it, but this is just not, I don't want anybody to think that it's just a situation dealing within the school district. This is a problem state and nationally. There are statistics out and said that we are 3% out of 1,000 contractors. So when do we start moving forward? Because I know, like I always say, I'm not going to be on this planet long. I would like to see this happen while I and some of us are still alive.
I think the other thing that we have done, and we have communicated to the board previously on 2 occasions that, and we provided the board with a sample RCO, which is a responsible contract ordinance policy that the Delaware County Community College has implemented. And that is something that this board will be considering through its policy committee. So I am hopeful, I don't vote, but I am hopeful that this board will take action on a proposed RCO that will come before them shortly.
And I agree with you, that's the key. We have to make a commitment. It's been something over 30, 40, 50 years that's still not happening. And I hope that it can happen here. And I know the taxpayers, the students, going like you said, just, I also commend you with one other thing that I was fighting for, was the strategic plan. And you came right in and put it all together. I really appreciate you doing that. This is something that our students can see an alternative, just not receiving a degree. See that this is career ready. And this could be really interesting, but we have to fight the gridlock that is holding us back for this happening.
Understand, and one other thing I think it's important to share since you are bringing these items up. In our last subcommittee meeting for the Kerr Field project, the individuals that we're going to be working with, we are also reaching out to all of the students who are at least 16 or older by April the 1st.
Okay.
And we are ensuring that all of our students have the opportunity to learn more about employment opportunities, because that company wants to employ our students. And so that's another effort that we're taking to make sure that we are, I'll say, community focused in our efforts and with the work that is being placed before the board and before the public.
You know, my final statement, one other thing that these contractors can do, that they've been fighting this joint venture. That's a way that we can get involved, like particularly with the athletic field. We found out that a lot of us are really don't have that experience, but with a joint venture that these contractors can set up. And I know what's happening in Philadelphia, I saw it happen. So this is nothing really new. So they can make that happen, hire individuals, get them a salary, and then they will have a portfolio when the project is completed, and maybe they'd be able to go out and bid on it themselves. If not, they would have the experience. Maybe they can go to another company and learn this and then have the experience. But the key is that we're not in the game, it's just not going to happen.
Understand, and I'm just going to encourage all board members, and this will be my last comment. I'm going to encourage all board members to please make sure that you communicate with your constituents and with individuals that you know. And we did put this in last week's communication. If you know of individuals who are interested in doing work on the projects, please communicate. So it's not one person's responsibility, it's all of our responsibility to start seeing the change that we want to see.
Yeah, I had sent quite a few mechanics, so I guess I got to follow back up and see that they apply. Thank you.
So well, just in general, we have revisited this several times with regard to, as a board, with addition of classrooms. We've sat in many different boroughs, had meetings. We've talked about with regard to the air quality. We asked for data to show with regard to space utilization. We also went to our superintendent, asked him, what would he recommend in this as well? When we sat with, and I'm going to keep saying this, when we sat with KCBA and we sat with Dr. B. Coates, and we talked about where do we want to make room at? And Mike was stating that even if we made adding those additional classrooms, I'm all for with adding the air quality. Air quality is important. All of that is important. ADA compliance is important. Not saying it's not. We asked where would you recommend for us to be starting at? And when he explained to us, when we talking about freeing up of space, He was saying that even if you add those additional classrooms at the elementary school, it still will not give you the space that you're looking for. And he stated this in a meeting. So my concern was that, well, why wouldn't we add those extra classrooms at the high school? That was my concern, because ultimately, if we just put it at one elementary school, that's not helping us all around, because a lot of our kids go to the high school from different areas. So adding the additional classrooms or restructuring, where should we start at? One of the recommendation that the gentleman had said was that you would probably start at the high school. Then from there, we started talking about, as a board with elementary, we knew that East Lansdowne has some poor air quality. We knew that East Lansdowne that needed to be ADA compliant, also our other elementary schools as well. So with that being said, I just want to say that my stance on this is yes, I'm all for D1 through D4. You will see that in my vote. For D5, you will see that in my vote as well, that the additional classrooms I'm not for at this time. I do believe that we need them, I do, but there also has to be a process and a plan. And the reason why I say that is that right now, and I'm going to be very transparent, we were in our property committee, well, it was a subcommittee meeting with regard to talking about Kerr Field. Right now, we've put the structure and everything, everyone is okay and safe with thinking Kerr Field's moving forward, where it's going to move forward, but we don't have a training room. So we went through all of these meetings and put all these things together, and we are without a training room. So my thing is, as a president, I want to lead properly, but I also want us to slow down and pay attention. I don't want us to miss things. And yes, we have the funds to do certain things. Yes, we do. But we also have to be smart about our decisions. A lot of board directors I have spoke with, they had told me, okay, Mo, while we're already in this school, that's why we need to add these classrooms, because we're already in the school. But my thing is that don't put the cart before the horse. That's how I feel. I feel like we need to make sure, yes, we need to become ADA compliant. We need to make sure the air handling is correct and our kids are in safe environments. I do believe that. But with addition of classrooms, I'm not shooting it down and saying no forever. I'm just saying that this is something that we need to take a wider approach at and take a deeper look at, and also understanding what we should be doing first. Because if we do not make a mistake, but if we do put the additional classrooms in East Lansdowne, where does that, at the end of the day, where is it for everything with regard to space utilization? Because like I said, the conversation that we had in our meeting, he specifically said that if we added those, because that's why we wanted to add additional classrooms for space. We talked about this. Our students are in crowded situations or crowded classrooms. With that being said, in our meeting, it was stated, even if we started there, it would not give us the space that we needed. And we asked specifically, Mike, where would you start? He said the high school. So I just wanted to state that because I want to be very transparent about what you will hear from me and why I am voting the way that I am. I'll continue to say this, I am alumni. I want this school to be the best. I went here, I want it to be the best. But at the end of the day, also I have to make a fundamental sound decision for us as well. So for me and my community as well. So I just wanted to state that.
So when would you put those classrooms in?
When would I put the classrooms in? I would go back to KCBA and find out what would they recommend, because based off of the information with regard to space, and right now, even if we say we will put the classrooms in now, right? That wouldn't even happen right now. We're not talking about now.
You put it now, they go in, what, 2 to 3 years? Yep. That's how long construction takes.
Okay, so all I'm saying is that we need to revisit it to find out exactly what they're recommending.
What does overcrowding in the elementary school have to do with classrooms in a high school?
Because ultimately, that's where all of our kids go up to the high school. So if you make space up here, that will help us. That's how he explains it to us. I mean, all I'm saying is I brought this up in the meeting to ask these questions, and that's how it was. I want to state for the record, I am not against adding additional classrooms for East Lansdowne. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
5 years, 10 years, let me know so I don't bring it up again.
Well, what I would like to do is go back and have them help us. That's what they're there for. What makes the most sense?
The classrooms for East Lansdowne were on the original item as an a la carte item. Okay?
Yes.
So it was already in the mindset when they did that. So
yes.
You asked for the live birth study. We did that.
Yes.
That's folded out that they're needed, okay?
Mhm.
And now it's something about the architect in the high school, okay? You guys keep moving the goalposts down the line. You never got to cross the end zone.
Well, once again, I'm stating this, I'm not moving the goalposts. What I'm telling you is that in our meeting, what was stated
You're
by the
saying
architect.
now at some point in the near future that you can't even define.
Well, we couldn't, they didn't define it to us either. When we asked them exactly when, we didn't even ask them.
Now.
Yes.
Now.
A lot of our, yes, and I believe that a lot of our schools are overcrowded now. I totally agree with you. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you. If I may, this is not about overcrowding. This is about ADA compliance. The students that, and this is what the board said, ADA compliance and air quality. The students that are in that basement will not have ADA compliant facilities, unlike anywhere else in the district. They do not have ADA access to the trailer. As it stands now, there's stairs up the trailer from the outside. This is not about extra space, although it should be. This is about ADA compliance. This is about a certain percentage of your students will not be able to participate in sixth grade downstairs, music or art. Okay, they cannot physically get down there in a safe manner. Period. So that is about ADA compliance. I'm not talking about overcrowding. I'm talking about equal access for all students. Art and music will not be available to those in a wheelchair.
Yes, I see you. As soon as she finished, Ms. Ivory, you have the floor.
Thank you.
Yeah, in a wheelchair or in a walker, they will not have access to those classes. That speaks to compliance.
Okay, Ms. Ivory, you have the floor, and then Mr. Wright.
Thank you. Okay, so I just have comments and a couple of concerns. Yes, the East Lansdowne, I agree, needs a lot of work. Beyond the classrooms, there is work that needs to be done at East Lansdowne School. However, the board voted and all agreed that we will focus on the ADA compliance. With this vote of saying yes or no to the classrooms, the construction will not be done right now. So I don't want residents to be under the assumption if we voted yes or no that the construction would take place this summer. It would not. It still has to go through a process that has to be done the correct way to ensure that when we open up walls to East Lansdowne, they are not out of the school for 1 or 2 years as the other major construction we underwent when we redid Ardmore Avenue. It has to be done to where it's planned out effectively. That means the property committee has to make sure it vets and understands the entire process in its entirety. Unfortunately, we've already started with the Kerr Field thing. We're already $4 million over, somehow was overlooked with that budget that was presented to the whole board, where someone missed or did not look at something that said we're missing certain items. And now today, Ms. Boykins is saying it's also missing a training room, which means there was something missed at some point. So I am not in agreement with adding another project when we have this major project done. We have to be able to focus on one thing at a time so we can cross our T's and dot our I's. We do not want children in the building and we take them out of the building or close part of the building to add an addition. And then someone says, oops, we forgot to do something. My concern is that this process, it has been voted no 3 times and it keeps being added, which is okay. We each have a right to add something back to the agenda. However, what I am disappointed in is the narrative that's being placed that board members do not care. I have worked in the school district. I've had children in this school district. I've been a resident for over 20 years. I've been to every building in this district except Colwyn. I'm aware of what happens, but I'm also aware of what past boards have done under leadership that do not follow through with items. The East Lansdowne situation is not new. My sons played basketball in that school. I was familiar with maintenance people that worked in that building. I've seen what it looks like. This didn't just start last year. This has been present for many years. So I need each board member to take accountability to what you have not addressed in past years. So please stop playing the narrative that we as a board that are voting no are not concerned for our children. I had 2 children in this district, and I still would support anyone that needed. I've also worked in this district as an employee. My own space was in bad shape where the floors were warped and you can use a skateboard to ride around in it. And it looked like that for months. So I'm well aware of being in a place where it's not where it should be. And it took time and they eventually fixed it. But it was done with order, not just done just because someone said they wanted it done. So I need for the board members, whether you are for or against, please do not put the narrative out to the community that those that are saying no do not care, because we do. We just want to make sure when we do vote yes to not only this addition, but to other school additions or, add-ons, that it's done in an orderly way so the students can benefit. And we are going to follow it in accordance to what Dr. B. Coates has recommended, because he told us at the beginning of this process, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we do not have the money to add on those additions at this time. So if you are not planning on doing this, what is the push to do the classrooms? Because Bell Avenue also is not ADA compliant. Why are we not putting up that same fight for that elevator that we're putting up for the 4 classrooms? So we voted to do ADA compliance. That's what we should be focused on. And for the board members or anyone that would love to have this discussion with me further, please reach out to me. Because the emails that are being sent out, it's somewhat as if it's an intimidation thing that if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm not going to help you when you need me. Or we're seeing other people as if you're trying to intimidate or force us to do certain things. Our vote was no. We're working together. It's okay for us to disagree. That's what makes us a great board, because we're able to disagree and have this discussion. But let's do it with the dignity that says we care about this. We just want to make sure we're done doing things in the proper way.
Thank you, Ms. Ivory. Mr. Wright?
Thank you, Ms. Ivory. I was going to bring this up. I'm glad that you did. My son attended East Lansdowne Basic Elementary School. And when he attended East Lansdowne Basic Elementary School from K to 6, he only had half-day kindergarten. When I was on the school board, like I said, I've been around for a long time. I was on the school board. I fought for all the schools in the Winnipeg School District to have full-time kindergarten. I was responsible for that. Also for the teachers to have a parking facility. They didn't have it. They were parking on the street. There were some concerns from the East Lansdowne residents about teachers parking on the street, would take up their parking space. So we wind up under the principal, Ms. Lottie Washington, a parking lot. We also, when I came by there, when the open house at East Lansdowne, also was there to support and sponsor a basketball court. So I understand what Ms. Ivory said. So, and when we voted for full-day kindergarten, my son never had full-day kindergarten. I was thinking about the future. And I'm proud today that we still have full-day kindergarten, but it started with the teacher, I believe, or a parent spoke, it was year 2000. You know, I can remember some numbers, some dates. It was 2000 when that took place. So we always been in East Lansdowne, then was East Lansdowne Basic Elementary School, which somehow wound up being dismantled and became neighborhood school, and was never the same. East Lansdowne Basic School, some people might get upset, but it was one of the best or the best elementary school in the Winnipeg School District, one of the best in Delaware County. And then that program was torn apart. But we still continue to support East Lansdowne. You know, I was at the open house for the project, and I was glad that my son's grade teacher was still here. So I'm also concerned, Ms. Ivory mentioned, once when you look at the timeline, Bell Avenue was pretty much almost at the beginning, maybe the next group to go. Now they moved all the way to the end, 2030. I don't know, I'll be alive 2030. That's a long time that we have to wait. And that's not fair to us. So I can look at additional classrooms, but it has to be fair and equitable for all our schools. We just can't say it would be be East Lansdowne or Evans or even Bell, but what about the rest of the schools? How are we gonna move that? How are we gonna be fair? How can we get more money to make this happen? So like Ms. Aubrey said, I wasn't aware that if we vote no, that we don't care. I'm still on this board.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
what
care.
was stated, that was a comment that was basically made, and another comment was that we were more concerned about athletics and academics, and that is not the case.
That's not true.
That's not the case. There are, we have conversations, and we talk about this amongst our boards, and it's good for every board member to state how they're.
Madam
what they're-
Chair.
how they do. Yes,
Madam Chair,
yes.
to make a comment at this time, and I'm hoping that in my current location that you all can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
I want to first thank the school for coming out and advocating. And I want to also dismantle the narrative that if we vote one way, that there is the suggestion that there's lack of care. What I'm asking us to do, as was stated when we voted 3 times ago, to stick with our original priorities. And if there are some issues that are imminent and urgent for students who are currently being educated in our district, it should not take this to get the fervor. If there are things that our students are lacking, we need to address that aside from what we're voting on tonight. So I'm still of the mind that not yet now for D5, but I want to verify that if our students are in an environment that is unsafe and unfit, then we should be addressing that on a different level. But we're talking about additional classrooms at this time. And so I want to make sure that we're not mixing and misrepresenting what this means as a board in our vote this evening, characterizing us as those who vote no might not care about our students. That is just not the case.
Madam Chair, I'm calling for the question, so, which means I'm asking that we got the motions on the floor. Can we vote?
Yes, so with that being said, we are going to vote for D1 through 4 first. So Mr. Cuff.
I think you can do a voice vote for D1.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So we're going D1 through D4. All those in favor for D1 through D4, say aye.
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 Okay, all those against? All right, hearing none. Okay, now we are going to vote for D5. This is the addition of the classrooms, okay? We're going to do a roll call vote for D5.
Okay, this is in seniority order. Ms. Haas,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
I'll come back to me.
Mr. Richardson,
Yes.
Ms. Hopkins,
No.
Mr. Tall,
Yes.
Mr. Callahan. Yes. Ms. Cook Henry,
No.
Mr. Wright,
No.
Ms. Ivory,
No.
Ms. Williams.
No. All right, thank you very much, Board of Directors. We're going on to our E, Budget and Finance Committee Agenda Report, read by Ms. Jennifer Hoff, our Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Boykins. E1 Treasurer's Report, E2 List of Bills, E3 Audit Report for year ended June 30th, 2022. That is all, Ms. Boykins.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those, oh, I'm
Wait.
sorry, any comments, questions, or concerns? Jen, yes.
Hi, I asked last week during the meeting of the whole that we add school board directors mandatory training to our audit report for next year. School board directors are under state mandate to be trained. The only place it can be listed in school documents is on the audit, and I request that it be added for the 23 school year.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you very much. Oh, Mr. Wright?
What is our index, for the budget? By the, mandated by the state.
Under
Oh,
six.
Under
Under six, we took a vote last, December
Yeah,
meeting.
December meeting.
To not go above our index, which is six.
6.
Yeah, 6 million.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, for that.
Okay.
All right, I had got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? All right, hearing none. Moving on to our policy committee read by our chair, Ms. Joanna Hopkins.
Good evening, and to all those who I haven't spoke to, because I haven't been around, I want to say Happy New Year and blessings to all. The F1 second reading of the new and amended policies of 011 and 202. 011 is principles for governance and leadership. Local board procedures, and policy 202 is eligibility of non-resident students. And the motion is to approve the second reading and adoption of the William Penn School District. I can't see it because of, excuse me, hold on. No, that's not you, please. It's me. It's me. Go back, please. To the motion. Thank you. The new district new and amended policies 011 and 202, and to enter such readings into the minutes. William Penn School District new amended policies have been written by the Board of School Directors and have been reviewed by superintendent and the solicitor. Each board member has received a copy of the above named policies for review and follow-up discussion. Next. F2, the first reading of amended policies 105, 108, 109. It is the motion to approve the first reading of the William Penn School District amended policies 105. Can you go up just a little bit so that I can see the description? Thank you. Curriculum development, 108 is adoption of textbooks, and policy 109 is resource materials, all under programs. And to enter such readings into the minutes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hopkins. Can I get a second?
Second.
We're not concerned. Oh, yeah, it is. Any comments, questions, or concerns at this time with what was read? All right, here is seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right, moving forward. Next, we will go to our solicitor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. There was an executive session this evening immediately prior to the business meeting to discuss 4 different personnel items and a property issue.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Next, we'll go to our Delaware County Community College report from Mr. Wright.
Thank you. We will have a press release out hopefully during this week or by next week. Delaware County Community College have hired a new president, replacing Dr. Joyce Gates. And her name is Dr. Martha Crowell. And she will be the 5th president of Delaware County. And also she would be the 2nd woman, and she would be the 1st Latina woman in the history to win the Delaware County Community College. And also what I'm really excited about is that in the spring, and I make sure everybody be notified that we will have our ceremony moving forward, the Bonding Trinity program.
Awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear. You said spring?
Yeah, the spring.
Okay.
Make sure everybody's there.
Can you tell me your last name again?
Crowell.
Yeah.
CRULLEN.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Next, we'll go to our Delaware County Intermediate Union unit, read by Ms. Joy Hopkins.
Good evening again. Please review the website for the categories of PD workshops that are being offered this semester. January 26th is a half day for the IU students. The Vision Department will host low vision clinics on February 7th, March 7th, April 18th, and May 9th. If you have any low vision students, please contact Lorraine McCarron, 610-938-9000 extension 2242. Also, the Marple Education Center will be hosting the school prom for our special needs students. Save the date for May the 12th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hopkins. Next, we will have our Delaware County Legislative Council report read by Ms. Jennifer Hall.
Thank you, Ms. Boykins. It's a very interesting time in our state legislature. I think no one will disagree with that. There are, just for some little data, there are over 75 House bills and 30 Senate bills co-sponsored, just hanging out, waiting for people to act on. The House has specified 12 days that they're working between now and May, and the Senate has around 30 days they'll be working between now and May. We're looking for elections to be on February 7th, I believe, for the 3 open spots. But until then, just a lot of positioning, not a lot of work getting done, unfortunately. Like literally the sponsorships, the bill sponsorships are mind-boggling. And I counted them all by hand. So hopefully soon after February 7th, we can get down to work. But there are chances that the salty bills come back. And we spend a lot of time fighting them for no apparent reason. Doug Mastriano has a couple of bills and a lot of books and bathrooms and stuff that we don't need to be discussing when there's real equity issues out there. So I look forward to next month and folks getting down to work. But literally 105 bills sitting there waiting. So that will get them through the summer. So I wish I had better news.
Sounds like a conundrum.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can get through that, and with those new fresh blood in the office, hopefully, things will get moving.
We can only hope.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any old business, Mr. Cuff?
There is no old
You
business.
don't miss that. Just saying. Any new business, Mr. Cuff? Yes, there is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be reading it.
You're
So, all board of directors, as you know, there is every year, there is a National School Board Director Conference. This new business is a motion to approve the attendance of school board members at the 2023 inaugural National Conference of the Consortium of State School Board of Directors. Now they go by the acronym of COSBA. So that's what it means. This is going to be in Tampa, Florida, March 30th to April 2nd. This is for approval for requested school board members to represent the William Penn School District Board of Directors in the 2023 inaugural National Conference of the Consortium of State School Boards Association. Board of Directors, what I need from you, if you are interested in attending this, I just need you to send an email out to Dr. B. Coates and Janet as well, Ms. Janet Shako, to let them know that you're interested in going. It's very, very important for our school board directors to attend national conferences. I have to state that because I have attended one. Jen, when I first came on board, she encouraged me to go to different ones as well, not just NESBA, but also PESBA as well, but just to be involved. And what I will say is the board of directors, you weren't on the call earlier when we were talking about this. You learn so much. you know, you learn across the country about what other people are doing, what other school board directors are doing. And then from there, you can add in, take away, but it's a great opportunity for us to sit and collaborate and learn. So I would just encourage any, yes, you need to know by Friday. The reason why the discount runs out after the 28th. So we want to get our emails in before the 27th.
And I was gonna ask, can we know by Wednesday, please? 'Cause
Yeah.
It does take us time to process and get stuff
Oh,
done.
sorry, Mr. Dawson, we can't
So-
take community members, but
Just wanted to shoot.
if somebody doesn't want to go.
Wednesday would be good.
So this is a short notice, just to let you know, we've received these emails from COSBA all the time, because we're board members. So this starts March 30th. So it's not short notice on the letting you know March 30th is March 30th, but with regard to, we just don't want the discount. We want to try to get the discount, that's all. So January 28th is when the discount runs out. But other than that, the event is on March 30th.
I'm saying, why such short notice to notify us of the conference itself?
Well, everybody is notified of the conference. We all receive COSBA emails on a regular basis. I get communication from them monthly. You don't?
We did
Okay.
talk about it a couple
We did a couple
meetings
meetings ago.
ago. It's just like getting on the.
I don't know
agenda.
why you wouldn't receive any emails from them when you're a board of direct.
I don't have anything.
Yeah.
You have things
We
from
get from
COSBA?
BSBA.
BSBA? Well, it's on there. If you open up your PSBA, like the last PSBA email I got, it says it about the conference. Okay. All right. Well, what I'll do is that I'll bring more of the information from the emails to the board so everybody can see, but this information is out there. This is not till the 30th. And if you want to sign up, please do that by Wednesday.
But we have to approve this
I was gonna say,
motion,
so-
correct?
Yeah, someone needs to make a motion, and where there's a blank, ignore the blank. So the
Yeah.
motion would just be motion to approve the attendance of school board members.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, thank you. Because I wanted to correct that before, I wanted that corrected before I vote on it, because it says attendance of and given names. But if you're taking the names of people out, then just say, school board members, and that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, to read?
Yep.
New business, motion to approve the attendance of school board members at the 2023 inaugural National Conference of the Consortium of State School Board Associations, COSBA, in Tampa, Florida, from March 30th to April 2nd. Approval is requested for school board directors, members to represent the William Penn School District Board of Directors at the 2023 inaugural National Conference of the Consortium of the State School Board Associations in Tampa, Florida, from March 30th to April 2nd.
Second.
Second.
Thank
And
you.
Madam President, even though we already had discussion on this, Mr. Cuff, can you let us know what is the maximum amount? What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. Spending
Budget?
allowance.
And how many school board members?
Sure, in the past, the amount budget was approximately 1,500 per board member. It's that covers if all non-board members decided to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Only reason why I
Yeah.
brought that up is because at my other board meeting, somebody rented a limousine.
Oh, no, we don't, we gotta
Yeah.
fly down there.
Yeah.
A limo,
Let's
what?
continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. All right, going right along. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against?
I think.
All right. Got it? All right. Yes. All right, now we're at the, before we go to public comments, do we have Mr. Bangora and Ms. Wise online? I just want to make sure that I give them opportunity to speak up with any comments or concerns that you may want to bring to the board. You have the floor.
Yeah, no, I don't have any comments, questions, or concerns. But I will say I am excited to take that new AP class, the African American class. I was talking about it to Ms. Huff last time we spoke. So yeah, I'm excited to take that next year.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Van Gora. Ms. Wise?
You're muted if you're talking, Ms. Wise.
There you go. Oh, you're muted again. Unmute yourself.
Huh?
Yep, we can hear you now.
All right. Really quickly, can I have a quick refresher on what this is on? I'm sorry, I was away from the keyboard.
So Ms. Wise, this is your opportunity to bring any comments, questions, or concerns to the board that you may have. Like we normally do, usually in the beginning of the meeting, we meet with you, you have a few words. So do you have a few words for us that you would like to, make a comment or anything?
Thank you for the refresher. And also, I do have a comment about the bus depot situation again. So for the Green Avenue campus, I'm not sure what they're doing at the Cypress school yet. But for us, we are required to have our IDs to get on buses. It's going to be effective February 6th. But the only issue that I have with that is that some of our IDs don't have the bus numbers that we get on because that bus does not come anymore. And I feel as though that.
Ms. Wise, you cut out a little bit. Can you state your concern again? You cut off after ID.
So some of the buses, our IDs have certain bus numbers on them, but the only issue with the bus number being on there is that a lot of those buses either don't show up or are no longer being used, like 758, and effective on February 6th, we're going to be required to show our IDs to get on those buses. But the only issue is those buses that don't come, there's no bus for us to get on.
Got you, because they change out buses due to maintenance or other type of things. So you're saying whatever's on your ID may be a different bus than what you have to get on because that bus is no longer there, like seven, I got you.
So Ms. Wise, I will apologize to you. I specifically asked that question when this process was shared with me. So it's a little concerning that I'm hearing this again. But I will follow up with the school administration because I was told that that is not an issue and would not be an issue. But I will follow up tomorrow. We'll get back in touch.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, questions, or concerns, Ms. Wise?
For the most part, that's all.
All right, hearing or seeing none. Oh, go ahead, you have the floor. Does she have something? No, I guess not. Okay, so we're going to go to any public comments from non-agenda items. Any public comments from non-agenda items? All right.
I just want point of clarification. When I first wrote the speech, I just want to tell me what is it on the agenda you started talking about G, which had to do with your curb field and plumbing and electrical. That is separate than what's offered in the property committee meeting.
These all came out of the property committee meeting,
Okay.
but none of the voting items tonight were about Fairfield. They were all about East Lansdowne.
From East Lansdowne.
And Evans, sorry.
So any question that I have relating to what Mr. Wright commented on is not appropriate because this is not that type of meeting.
Well, at this stage of public comment, you can make you can make your comments. But you could also come to the property committee where they'll.
Well, thank you for the invitation. But I came this evening and our council president and our council vice president came by way of an invitation from Mr. Wright. And our invitation included our curiosity as to the contracts allocated for classroom sizes and plumbing and electrical and curb field. And I am concerned as Mr. Wright, and that's Mr. concerned about minority participation, both African-American, Latino, females, and all. So our superintendent was kind enough to explain that he has put forward an effort to be inclusive and have these people come and get a piece of the pie. And I came this evening to make sure and ask, not only as the borough manager, but as a resident and taxpayer, that all people have the opportunity, since the school district comprises maybe 95% of people of African descent in our student population, that we get a piece or be invited to sit at the table and receive some of what's going to take place in all of our communities. In particular, Yaden, since it seems to be, and you made the comment earlier about the locker room and the training room, that made all the sense for state-of-the-art track and field.
Yeah.
That made all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And it does not go against the academics. That's why I keep. But secondly, I wanted to talk about and say thank you for the classes, the courses that you're offering. Before our superintendent came, we had discussions about upper level academic courses. And reading it, my head started to spin because I don't understand stuff. But in conclusion, have you considered aligning the possibilities of where these courses would take our children? Since we have bright children and they're going to be taking these classes, at the end, how would they benefit by taking these courses? Does it lead to space aeronautics? Does it lead to laser technology? Does it lead to advanced AI courses? So looking at it, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
But if I'm a student and I'm getting ready, where does it say that these courses will lead?
Great question. And I first want to start off by, well, let me answer your question and then I'll encourage us later. The answer to your question is, in our strategic plan, we stated that we would be looking at all the courses that were offered in an effort to provide a pathway or different pathways. That's what we've done. We provided the information to the board. We presented to them, I think, twice now at the education committee meeting. That's why these courses are being offered. In the documents that we provided to the board at the education committee meeting, it clearly outlines how these courses align to something that you can do long-term. So what we're moving toward is ensuring that our students have a pathway so that students will know, if I do X, this is what it leads me to, or what the benefits are. So that information is outlined in our education committee meeting presentation. I will make sure that you receive a copy because that will answer your question. But I'm also going to encourage our community to please come out to our committee meetings because that's where the work is done. And that's where we need you. And that's where we need to engage in dialogue and conversation at our committee meetings. And so tonight, before tonight's meeting is over, I think the board will approve the committee meeting schedule for the coming month. So in those months, so when next month comes, you will know when the meetings are. Please come out. It's open to the entire public. And I encourage individuals to come out to them because again, that's where we do most of the work. This meeting is really a meeting for the board to vote on work that's been done in the committee meetings.
Again, I'd like to say congratulations for all the hard work that has been done to arrive at this point. But in conclusion, I want to just say one other thing, and that's the African American studies. You spoke earlier about the curriculum. One of my concerns is looking at the African American course. I don't know what the curriculum is, but does it, or do you know that it includes the question about the role that Africans played in having us dispersed all around the world? And then the conclusion from that is what can be done with Africa to involve African Americans in terms of, since it happened there and they participated in it, how do we become whole? And an example would be dual citizenship. So if our students are interested in African American studies, they need to know the whole story. No one is in, there's only degrees of guilt. So therefore, I would ask you, is that part of the curriculum? Are we discussing everybody's role in our diaspora?
I'm going to have a further conversation with you and I will actually outline that information for you. I don't think this is the time to actually try to adequately answer that question. I think you have to actually look at the curriculum in and of itself.
I'll be glad to. Thank you for your time.
More than welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Dodson. Are there any other comments, questions, or concerns? Yeah. Hello again.
Hi again. I want to commend you all on such a professional meeting. It's like a rarity nowadays where people disagree and are not disagreeable. And it was just really nice to sit here in such a pleasant meeting. So thank you from the community.
Thank you for that.
D5.
Yes.
It seems to me that the air quality is so important because the kids might get sick. And I know you're saying you want to check out all the other buildings, but because it's really an extenuating circumstance there, I'm just thinking it might be the most important thing to get the addition done there before you go elsewhere. Just my opinion, but thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Ms. Lewis. All right, so online, it looks like we have Ms. Lewis with a comment. Can someone unmute her, please? You have the floor, Ms. Lewis.
I am actually unmuted. I wanted
Okay,
to,
great.
yes, I wanted to say thank you yet again to our board. Thank you for everyone who spoke up about the work that has to actually be done. Thank you, Ms. Ivory. You did everything that you were supposed to do, and everyone who supported her statements. I agree with you 100% because we have been dealing with this for a couple of years. I'm also going to make another statement that I want to make. Dr. B. Cooks, I mean what I say when I say I'm very grateful that you are here in our school district and that you are leading it. I'm grateful for everyone that is here doing the work that we need to do for our school district. And I want to make sure that we keep this going. And in everything, we want to make sure that we continue to support you and the board on all the work that they are doing. Thank you very, very much for everything, and y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Is there anyone else? Did anyone see any other hands raised? No? All right, moving right along to our announcement of future meetings. All right, personnel meeting. That is going to be on Tuesday, January 24th at 6:30 p.m. If you want to know or learn about any movement that's going on in the district, what positions are not filled, what is filled, new people coming in, this is where you will learn from personnel. Property committee meeting. Really come to our property committee meeting. This is going to be on February 1st, Wednesday at 6:30. Mr. Tong, you have the floor.
Hold on, that got adjusted.
All right, sorry, hold on.
Okay.
Correct, got you. So we're
We'll
gonna.
correct it as soon as you're done.
Okay, so there's gonna be a correction to this date as soon as I'm finished. But the property committee meeting is where you wanna come out and ask about the Kerrfield project, ask about the East Lansdowne project, Evans and Bell, all that, ADA compliant, all that. Please come out and ask those questions at that committee meeting. Policy committee meeting is February 2nd, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. If you wanna learn about what we're putting in policy or what policies are coming up, please participate in that meeting. February 8th is an education meeting, 6:30 p.m. This is where you can ask more questions about the curriculum, ask more questions about the classes that are added and things of that nature. Once again, 6:30 p.m., February 8th. Budget and Finance Committee is February 16th. This is where you learn about how we're spending our money and where is it going to and how we balancing our budget. February 16th at 6:30 p.m., which is a Thursday. Then we have our committee meeting of the wholes, where we bring all of the reports and we talk about those reports. Each chair will be representing and speaking on their report that they'll be presenting the following week, which the committee of the wholes is February 21st, because Monday is a holiday, okay, at 6:30 p.m. And it will be on Zoom, okay, and also, in Zoom, on Zoom. Then our next business meeting is February 27th, okay? February 27th, 6:30 p.m., which is a Monday, all right? And we are going to make adjustment to that, go ahead, that personnel, property meeting date.
Property and budget are on Wednesday, February
February
15th at 6:30.
Okay, so February 15th is the property meeting, okay? Scratch the first, go on February 15th. After that, and that starts at 6:30, so we've doubled, we've made property and finance, finance meetings together. So 6:30, we'll start with property, and then finance and budget and finance come behind that. So that day will be a little bit longer day because we're combining two committees, okay? Just to, you know, help everyone with days and things like that. So just 6:30, we want to make sure we're there. And with that being said, last thing, board of directors, anybody want to report on anything that they're doing in their community? I'm just going to start off of not doing something in my community, but this past week, we had a safe corridors meeting. And it was a really, really great meeting. And I want to bring that up because I want people to know the work that I'm doing outside of this, you know, during the week. It was, Jen was on the call with me as well. So we know that there has been some type of, Wawa's been closing, you know, after school because the crowd, it's a huge crowd that comes in from our school and other schools as well. And what we want to do is we want to work with Wawa to be able to open back up. So what we're doing is we're trying to, it's called basically creating a safe space. We're going to talk to our student reps, we're going to talk to our community, talk to our businesses, and then also the school. So we have all stakeholders together, and what we're trying to do is figure out how to be more safe. How can we get our community to respond better, our businesses to respond and handle crowds, or what we can do? Do we need to add more security? There's just a lot of discussion going on, and we have state rep involvement in that. You know, we have 2 state reps that are actually helping out with that, but State Rep Gina Curry is leading the way on this. And I just want to say it's really refreshing to be in meetings like this, to sit and just hear everyone's idea. I also want to give a shout out to East Lansdowne's mayor. He's involved. The chief of police is involved as well, from all different areas. East Lansdowne is involved as well. So it's just great conversations. And I just want to say we're going to continue to further this conversation and try to get our kids to understand what it is about being safe when you're walking out in the street, and how businesses can react and respond to them, and what we can do holistically. So I just want to say that. Anybody else? Yeah, yes.
I wanted to ditto what Ms. Boykin said about the Safe Corridors meeting. I was there as a small business owner on Lansdowne Avenue, and it was awesome. I also got to attend Lower Merion School District's advocacy event. Everyone wants to know about the court case. With Mr. Bangora, I got to attend the DCIU Student Forum, which is awesome. Wait till you see what they come up with. DCIU Legislative Council meeting, a Penwood boys basketball game, and a Penwood unified bocce match. And go Penwood versus Chester tomorrow, everyone.
Yeah, it's
tomorrow.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that being said, any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, hearing none, everyone have a great night. This meeting is adjourned.